Okay, 2 tournaments down and 1 tournament to go. All we are going to do now is get on with the city tournament, since that is the only one left. We've got all of our level 2 upgrades now fitted, so regardless of what happens from here, we should hopefully have everything we need to basically go out and make sure that we have our lineup sorted out. Also, something else I should mention is that as a result of us beating all of the street racers in San Diego, we unlocked the San Diego Cop car, which, as you can probably tell, is a Chevrolet Caprice, and basically this thing can be bought for $0. That's pretty much what I did, as I have it in my garage now, just to give you some evidence. I'm not sure if we can use this car in the career mode because, well, it's a specialty car, which means the exclusivity might give it some limitations in terms of what we can really do with it, but I will make sure to at least come out with something for the cop cars that we unlock the rest of the way. Anyway, so just for confirmation, we now have every single upgrade now fitted to this car that we can fit, all except for the level 3 tyres, but I don't think we really need those. This car is pretty much about as good as it's gonna get, so we might as well just go out and see if we can manage to finish off this portion of the game by trying to win the stage tournament. Hopefully.
Orale, now you better win now.
Honestly, Oscar, I am hoping to do the same thing. Anyway, city tournament. Citywide autocross tournament through San Diego. A new Lexus awaits the winner. And yep, this thing definitely sounds different compared to before, so hopefully we have everything we need to really pull this off. Because, my god, do I really want to make sure I win this. There is also a tutorial for the autocross racers, which I will showcase as well.
You want to test out your rides on a city track? Check out an autocross race. Autocross races are sanctioned races set up in each city. Races are barricaded with no traffic or opponent. For each race, you have a given number of laps to try and beat the best posted lap time. Just you against the clock.
I should also mention that the phone filter I have on my microphone, it's also covering the mute button, so I can't really do anything about that. Okay. Everything was going well up until that last race. I thought for sure I was close to having it in the bag, but it turns out the intervals for that final race, they were extremely close in terms of delta times. And I really could not get close enough to really mount enough of a challenge to Ben, so suffice to say, in terms of where the Achilles heel is at, the third race is without question where I would consider it to be. So I do improve on my previous best. Those are your results, as this time Dion finishes at the back. It's spelt Dion, by the way, as in Deion Sanders.
Orale!
So we're basically just going to try this again. And hopefully, if possible, I can actually score enough points to outpace Ben. Because since this is essentially a time trial tournament, they're mostly just multi-lap events where you really have just got to be on it, pretty much from start to finish. And because I lost it in the final race, that was how I ended up second. I was also having to deal with razor-tight margins. Like, they were literally separated by razor blades with how tight they were. Like, the first two races are easy, but then once you get to the second two races, that's pretty much when it comes down to luck. Or pretty much the third race, I should say. There is also nothing I can really do about the understeer. Unless there is a setting change I don't know about that I could probably use. And somehow I clinched that by 0.03 of a second, despite my best of efforts to lose. And that time Ben finished in 7th. So I beat Ali to the line by a razor-thin margin. Jerome 3rd, Steve 4th, Rich 5th, Alan 6th, Ben 7th, and Dion this time is still 8th. Okay, I am 5 points clear of Ali. Jerome is 3rd. We also have a tie for 4th between Ben and Steve this time, as well as a tie for 6th between Rich and Alan. I think Dion is probably going to finish at the back.
Come on, fool! Don't be getting arrogant because you want to race now.
I'm going to record the replay again, except this time hope that I actually do get the right amount of clickbait evidence to at least show for my efforts. I'm a little more comfortable now than I was before, but it proves that I still need to be quick in the third race, and I really need to minimize the mistakes as much as I can, if possible. Even though I will say, without having zone, it just makes it exponentially harder for me to put together a clean enough effort. I mean, it definitely throws you around, especially when you're dealing with as much understeer as what I deal with through some of these corners. Like, the corner entries are not necessarily as good as they could be. But this is a common feature among front-wheel drive cars, just as much as oversteer is a common feature among rear-wheel drive cars. So I'm a little more comfortable now than I was before. But 5 points, that can pretty much be made up in a flash. Especially considering my history with this track. It also really doesn't help to say that the best time I had before was a 51.6. And my target time this time is a 50.5, so if possible, it would be nice if I could minimize the mistakes somehow. Which is going to be important. And this time I am even further off. I get a feeling that says this race is fucking with me somehow. If you want to know how I know this, well, I think it's just instinct more than anything else that's telling me this. Okay, I think I am really going to need the Quivito for this. I get a feeling that might be a better choice for this event than my Dodge. Because the understeer through some of these corners is almost too much to overcome. As much as I'm really trying to overcome it. I'm really trying exponentially hard to make sure I somehow overcome the understeer. And because I'm also pressed for time, it's not something I'm just going to be spending all day trying to beat. Because right now I'm not sure if I can beat it. As much as I'm really trying to. Not sure if I could have really done anything better there than I already did. I'm really starting to think the Quivito might be a better choice for this. Because of its nimbleness, goddammit. I fucking hate myself. But it's okay, because I finished 4th. I think that should be enough. As much as I really hated how that second effort went, I think that should just be enough for me to clinch it. Because I won the first 2. Okay. Moment of truth. Please be enough, 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 please be enough. Yes! I rectified my transgressions from before. By a narrow margin. So 20 points to me, 19 points to Ali, 11 points to Jerome. Then we had a tie for 4th between Steve and Alan, who both scored 10 points. Rich was 6th with 9. Ben 7th, who beat me on the first attempt with 8. And Dion was shut out with 0 points to accommodate for his seemingly very slow times.
Thank God nobody knows you're my friend.
You know what, Oscar? I still won this fucking tournament, okay? You cannot say nothing. I still won this thing outright. And by a point no less. And I still get the Lexus. So if you really want to complain to me about being slow, why didn't you come out here and race for yourself? That's all I gotta say.
You like the look of that Lexus? That IS300 is all tuned up and ready to go.
Yes, indeed it is. However, I am probably not going to be using the Lexus this time around because I used it in my previous playthrough. I will be using a Class C car for Atlanta, but it won't be the Lexus, because I have my sights set on something else. So anyway, Despite my best of efforts to choke in the final race, we've done all 3 tournaments, and now we can go and look at our Lexus. It was a pretty tense battle, to be honest, but I did at least manage to wrangle the car far enough for me to actually get the overall win the second time around. Plus I did also get a neat little bonus for finishing... Oh, okay, it's a Class D car. Well, whatever. I don't care anymore. I finished the tournaments in San Diego. That's all I really care about. Wonder how much this thing sells for. Wow, it sells for nearly 24 grand. Not gonna sell it yet. Not gonna sell it yet, of course, but I might have to eventually. This is a good car to use, to be fair, but I want to make sure that I am separating this from my Dub Edition remix playthrough as much as I possibly can. So, anyway, all 3 tournaments are now done, and now we are just going to go and look at our updated progress from the stat screen. Let's do it to it. Again, because you have no way of turning off autosave, the only way you can really back out and pretend the mistakes you made before didn't happen is basically by just resetting the game and going back to the garage. So our total wins have now moved up to 46. My skill rating hasn't really changed, and we've now unlocked 30 vehicles overall, so I think that's nearly half of the vehicles in this game, if I remember. And this is now our total earnings. I think the cash earned overall is depending on the price of the cars that we win, if I were to take a guess. But we're now 17% complete with the game, as we've now officially won 3 tournaments outright. And I think what we'll do next time is get on with the American Royalty Car Club races. And then afterwards we'll do the Chopper of America races afterwards. We still have a few more things to do around here, but I think that's what we're going to do next. So, next time on Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition, American Royalty Car Club.